Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalmu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope your day is going well. Okay, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nadiatul Ikhsaniyah. I'm from Department of English Education, Faculty of Educational Sciences, Islamic University of Jakarta. Yeah, in this time, I would like to share with you my video, and in this video, slightly different from my other video that I have uploaded in YouTube. And because the last video I have a content about storytelling, novel and biography, but in this time I will share about 10 articles that I've read, and still it is to fulfill my extensive reading assignment. Yeah, before I start, I will tell you that I will share 3 points. The first is general idea of each article. Yeah, I will explain one by one the general idea or what's the articles discussing about. Yeah, and the next is the relation among the articles. Yeah, I will tell you the relation between the first article and with the next article, with the third, the fourth, and etc. Yeah, and the last is the general conclusion. Yeah, after I make relations among my articles I've read, I will make a general conclusion. I will make a big general point that discuss on my articles that I've read. Yeah, okay, and I will show you the title of my 10 articles. Yeah, you can read the title, and sorry I cannot read it directly because it is too much. Okay, and the first is choices and commitment, combination of teachers candidate profiles and perspective in China and the United States. Yeah, as the title told you that this is observations due in China and in US. This is discussing about what the difference of profiles candidate or qualify or characteristics between the teachers in China and the teachers in US, because of course they country have different characteristics who needed to their teachers. And the next is effective teaching and learning strategies in the language classroom. Yeah, this is talking about a range of strategies, that effective learning strategies that use in learning language classroom. And yeah, this is very intended to the teacher, because the teacher can use what the best strategies they will choose to learn to teaching their children in the language classroom especially. And the next is learning by doing an empirical study of active teaching techniques. Of course, this is the one of strategies too. And in this article talking about how the teacher build the students active, and in this article focus on 4 subjects, that is the lecturer, demonstration, discussion, and class activities. Yeah, this is start of teaching the students activities by active techniques. Yeah, and the next is classroom interaction and communication strategies in learning English as a foreign language. Yeah, this is discussing whether the interaction and communication strategies suitable or not in English as a foreign language class. And the author found the result that this is very suitable, because when their interaction communication using English, time by time they will comfortable and familiar with the language, and when they practice every day, it will make their language improve and fluency. And the next is children's mode of listening to music at home and at school. Yeah, in this article the author find the difference between listening music at home and listening music at school. Of course, why? Because the goals or the purpose of listening music and at home and at school, it is different. Something such like that. When they listening music at home, the goals is to very emotional, to such to treat their manner, emotional attitude, and etc. to control the emotion. And when they use the music at the school, the goals is to achieve the learning process. Yeah, such as suggestopedia method. It is used music as a media to support the material. Yeah. And the next is reading and socioeconomic background, a progressive achievement gap. Yeah. In this article, the author discussing about the gap between reading and socio-economic background. Because why? Socioeconomic background also determine the reading skill. Because when they come from a high level, I mean like high background, maybe their parents will support them, will push them to learn to in education, to reading, to writing, so their reading skill will be improved. It is different with the children from a low economic background, because their parents didn't really aware of the importance of reading, education, etc. So only their awareness that help their reading skills. Yeah. And the next is observation of bullying and victimization in the schoolyard. Yeah. In this article, the author talking about the bullying that happened in playground. Yeah. Why? Because the author wants to know what factor can make the bullying happens, and the author want to find the solution so that the bullying cannot happen anymore. And yeah, the author also give such a statement that to prevent this bullying case, not only the children's or the parents' roles, but it is a society roles. Yeah, we have a responsible. We have to responsible. And the next is gender and competition at a young age. Yeah, the author explained that between the boy and the girl have a different competitiveness feelings. Yeah, boy more bigger have competitiveness than the girl. Yeah. And the next is gender difference exposure. Yeah. And this is talking about violence, because the author want to know whether the violence happens more in female or male. Yeah, the author want to know there is a gap or not, or the same, or what. And the next is the effect of social media and students' behavior. And in this article, the author choose Facebook as an object on this research. And yeah, the author want to know whether there is a relation between behavior and social media or not, or the social media give negative or positive impact to students' behavior. Okay, the next is the relation among the article that I've read. The first is, and I divide into core point. The first is behavior and education. And yeah, let's start from the education. From the education, we start from the teacher's candidate. As I've told you before, teacher's candidate is about qualify of teachers. Yeah. It is also has relation to the next article, the effective strategies in teaching. Why? Because when they're a qualified teacher or a good teacher, they can decide where the best strategies they will use while learning process. Yeah, it's depend the goals of the learning process. And for the effective strategies in the teachings, I have three brands. The first is active teaching techniques, listening music mode, and the last is classroom interaction communication strategies. Yeah, of course, all of this article, I mean three article that I've read, it is talking about strategy. Of course, it is a branch of effective strategies, because all of them is effective strategies, and it is depend what the goals they want to achieve. Yeah. And yeah, for education, their reading and socioeconomic background, even the reading and socioeconomic background not have relation with the strategies in learning or teaching process, but it is still have relation with the education. Yeah, it is also talking about education in reading socioeconomic background. And yeah, the next is behavior, and there is some branch in behavior. The first is gender and competition. Yeah, when we talk about male and female and their differences in competition or what, of course we can conclude that this is talking about behavior. And the next is gender violence and adolescence. Yeah, it is have relation with behavior, as I told you before, and it is have a relation with the last article, and it is still talking about gender, the differences or the similarities between female and male. But in gender violence and adolescence is talking about violence, like a bad things. Yeah, comparison between the male and female. And the next is bullying and victimization. It is also talking about violence, bullying that happen in playground. Yeah. And from that article, it is have relations to the next article, that is impact of social media in behavior. Yeah, of course. Why? When social media bring negative impact, or the user are not wise, maybe it can create a bad behavior, and bad behavior can be what bad things, such as bullying, violence, and victimization, and etc. And yeah, for social media, if they have a good impact, it is, of course, it's very good. And yeah, for impact of social media in behavior, it have relation to teachers candidate. Why? Because teachers candidate, qualified teachers, good teachers, when they are a good teachers, they have to, or they must treat the children's, treat the what plant the children a good manner, good attitude. They have to control their children to become wise and to become responsible of social media. And when social media become a good field to the children, of course bullying and violence not happen again. And yeah, of course, so behavior and education have a relation. Yeah, and I found two focus content between education and behavior. Education and behavior, it's very entail, because when we have a good education, we treat a good education, we give or we get a good education, so we also get a good behavior. So violence, bullying, and many bad things not happened in our society. We can prevent it by good education and good behavior. And yeah, I think that's all to my presentation today. And yeah, I hope it is useful for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.